Hi. Chancellor Padden, President Gertler, distinguished members of the platform party, family and friends of the graduating class, and most importantly, the class of 2023. I stand before you with gratitude. Gratitude for this honor. Gratitude for the support of family and friends here today. Gratitude to my brilliant wife, Elizabeth, without whom I believe I may have ended up working in Walmart. An honorary doctorate of laws, not something one gets every day, given not just because of my long and varied musical career, but because of my resolute advocacy on behalf of Black, Indigenous, my grandmother was First Nations, and LGBTQ+ communities. Today, I want to talk about advocacy, mine and yours. I want to tell you what advocacy has looked like in my life, then ask you how you can resolutely build your own brand of advocacy into something meaningful for a world in crisis. In 1947, I told my mom I was a boy. I was 3. My poor mom, she didn't know what to do. Remember, these were the days when to be anything other than heteronormative was considered a form of deviance, an out-and-out crime. At puberty, my differentness began to show itself again. My mother was understandably frightened. I was young and Black in an America where the Ku Klux Klan was still very much alive. And my proud Cherokee grandmother knew to keep her head down. And so I learned that who I really was had to be hidden. But by the time I had crossed the border to attend McGill University in 1961, myself would no longer be denied. My advocacy at McGill showed itself as a dogged commitment to be no one other than myself. Being openly gay on a campus where I was already othered as the only Black person, I paid a price. Apart from my girlfriend, I was essentially friendless. The associate dean tried to have me expelled. I ended up leaving McGill after only 3 years. I picked up a guitar, figured out how to play it, and began to write songs. Songs that drew on a multitude of musical traditions, songs that would allow my essential self a voice. American mystic and poet Thomas Merton said, "Everyone has a vocation to be someone, but must understand that in order to fulfill this vocation, they can only be one person, themselves." How can you use today as a marker to fully allowing the brilliance of your unique self? And why does this matter? We stand at a crossroads. The climate crisis, the aspect of economic collapse, and the frightening rise of the new right. Yes, the old world is fighting to keep its power, but just as sure, a new world is waiting to be born. To midwife this world into being will require the best of all of us as we advocate for justice, for all life in a biosystem that is undeniably one of a kind. What is it you need to meet this challenge of self and advocacy? Over the course of my lifetime, I have survived and thrived despite many obstacles in my way because of one thing: my Soka Gakkai Buddhist community. I go here for guidance, for solace when my heart is breaking, for encouragement when I can't see the way forward. If you take nothing from this talk, hear this. Find a community of people with whom you share a common cause. Find your community. Now, ask yourself, how and where will my particular genius show up? The answer to this question will show up in different ways through the many stages of your life. Keep asking this question. Keep listening for the answer. The title of my new album is The Ones Ahead. I wrote it for your generation and for the ones to follow. The purpose is the same as my purpose here today: to encourage you to find your inner gold, to remind you that in spite of all that is going wrong, a great deal is going right, and your victory here today is only one example. Lastly, look for your elders. You'll know us by the gladness with which we greet you. I want you to do something with me. Take a deep breath. Put your hand on your heart. And repeat after me. My life matters. Who I am is a unique gift to this world. I commit this day to resolutely give voice to this gift. I commit this day to resolutely give voice to this gift. And so it is. I'm going to end with an excerpt from a song I wrote many years ago called Onwards and Upwards. Out of the darkness, out of the deepest night, waiting to greet us, just like the dawn, there is a power each of us keeps inside. Love is a comfort to carry us on, and it's onward and upward. I do believe we'll go onward and upward, my friends. Yes, it's onwards and upwards. From each we'll receive the strength and the courage to face it all over again. Thank you. Blessings.